I am so excited to speak to our guest today. She is an aesthetic injector all the way from the London, UK. Please help me to introduce Joe.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I'm so excited you decided to join us all the way from the UK.
Yes, so I am an injector over here in the UK. I'm not too far from London, the big city. So yeah, here I am. It's great to talk to you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan McLean, and I'm the founder and CEO of McLean Aesthetics.
Welcome to the dark side.
Let's go.
All right, awesome, awesome. Now, what time is it? Let's start the interview off right now. What time is it in
So
London?
it's 9 o'clock, and I've just finished work for the day. I work quite late into the evenings twice a week, which a lot of people do over here, which I'm sure you find a bit crazy.
Yeah, we most places close around 6 here at the latest for a med spa. Yeah. So
Wow. So when I asked you for a 5 p.m. appointment today, you were probably thinking, no, I want to go home.
wow, 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 wow. But you guys do have a good work-life balance. You get a lot of time, a lot of PTO, a lot of vacation. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I only work 2.5 days a week. I work on a Tuesday and one day on a weekend, and then I do like an evening. So I don't really do a lot. But then on a Thursday, I work until 11 p.m., but I don't start till 6.
Yeah.
So I get my whole day at home with my kids, which is great.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you are able to find like a work-life balance in this industry.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate because it works around like family mainly.
Awesome, awesome. Now let's rewind back to the beginning. How did you get inside the aesthetic industry?
So over here, it's actually really easy, which is good and bad. It's great for me, bad for the industry in general, but I'm sure we'll go into that. I was working full time. I was working in an office. I was working like 60 to 70 hours a week, which is a lot for over here. I don't know. I think in America you normally work a lot more anyway. But for us lazy Brits, that's not like loads. Um, and I got pregnant. I've got two really young little girls, and I started my journey. So I did my level 3, which over here is anatomy and physiology, and I was working into beauty. And I just progressed from there really. My in was phlebotomy, which is taking blood. Um, and that's how I got my training. And I just worked my way up, and I just built and sort of layered qualifications on top of each other. So yeah, over here you don't need a lot to train.
So it's pretty
You don't
easy
have to be a
to.
medic.
What does
Yeah,
that mean?
you don't have to be a medic.
Mm. You just have to take like an A and P class, like you said.
Yeah, and then you do your training, which is varied between academies.
Wow, wow. So how is like the level of care there? Like how do you know if somebody's like really good or just like kind of not that?
Well, that's the golden question. You don't. And there's a lot of cowboys, there's a lot of problems. It's very underregulated over here, extremely underregulated. And you can do, I think they've changed it now so you don't even need your A&P anymore. So you can do a day course and have literally 7 hours of training to go from having no qualifications at all to having advanced aesthetics injecting. And you can gain insurance with that and inject the next day.
Wow, wow, it's super interesting. That is the Wild Wild West, and I thought it was pretty open here in Florida.
Yeah, it's quite it's wild.
Yeah, nice, nice. Now, what are clients asking for in your area?
Say that again.
What procedures are clients asking for in your area?
So for me, I do a lot of toxin, a lot of Botox, and a lot of dermal filler. I do a huge amount of like facial transformations for a more mature woman. That's my kind of specialism. There's a lot of lip fillers and things, but I don't tend to do a huge amount of that. I do a lot of bespoke treatments.
So can you talk a little bit about the transformation? What does that really include, and how do you go about that?
So it's individual for every client. I bring someone in, I map their face, I use the golden ratio to map my clients to make sure that they're not going to be overfilled or puffy. And we work to a treatment plan and a budget if they have one, or, it depends entirely on what they need. A lot of the time, it's the majority filler and then some skin boosters as well. I don't tend to use a huge amount of toxin for these treatments because of the longevity.
What is the golden ratio? Can you describe that a little bit more?
So the golden ratio, or phi, is a ratio that's found in Renaissance art and in nature. I don't know if anyone you've spoken to uses it already. So I literally have calipers. I can even show you because I'm in work at the moment, where I can measure someone's face and make sure that they are within the golden ratio. So you have these calipers and you have the 1 to the 1.6. And if you're measuring someone's face, as long as you're within these parameters, you know that you're not going to overfill them and leave them looking puffy. So you measure different areas of the face. For example, the lips, the top lip is 1 to the bottom lip 1.6. So, as long as you're not making someone's bottom lip bigger than that they're not going to look overdone.
What are the most trending procedures right now that you're seeing in your area? Like, is there anything that's newer to the market that you may have seen and like, wow, this is coming up in this area?
Lower face toxin, definitely. Particularly the masseter tox, so tightening the face here.
Okay. And do you guys use what type of products do you guys use? Are you guys using like, are the same brands that are in the US, or are there different brands or different?
I think they're completely different, actually.
Oh, wow.
We use a lot of Profilo. I don't know if you have that over there, which is a skin booster. It's a really great product. For toxin, it tends to be Azalure, Botox, or Bocature. Dermal filler, the lack of regulation really comes into play when it comes to dermal filler, because there's hundreds of brands that you can buy. You get Juvederm, which I guess you get over there.
Yes.
But people don't tend to use that because it's really hydrophilic. Like a lot of people I know don't get on with it. But yeah, there's not a lot. There's hundreds of different fillers that you can buy. The fillers that I tend to use Epitique because it's a really great premium brand. I don't know if you have that over there. But you can buy filler for £10.
Wow, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, you don't even need to be qualified to buy filler here.
Are you guys doing any PDO thread over there?
Yes, there is a lot of PDO threads. It's not something that I do. But yeah, there is people in my area that do them.
Okay, nice. Let's talk social media. And I found you through social media, and your social media really stood out to me. That's why I really want to have you on the show. How did you go about building that?
So, social media is a minefield, and I think it's about being real, and you have to appeal to your target market. You have to be honest and you have to be real. I post a lot of personal pictures. I post an awful lot of pictures of my kids, obviously with them most of the time. So yeah, social media is great, but it's also a really good platform to inform your clients. I don't think it's always the best way to gain clients or gain clients that are going to be returning good clients, but it's a great way of making your clients feel looked after and communicated with.
Nice. And what are you doing for like white glove service to kind of enhance the client experience?
So for me, it's about taking care and being personable and making sure that they know it's not a one size fits all approach. I don't know if that varies a lot over here. I feel like I'm speaking for the whole of the UK, which I'm not. This is just for me. But you can get places where they'll do a package of say 4 mil filler and we put 1 mil here and 2 mil there and half here and half there, whereas that's just not how I work at all. My clients don't like that. I don't like that approach. I think that you can do so much better and have much better results if you create a bespoke package.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And making it more individualized for every person.
Yeah, and even just checking up on a client after their appointment and making sure they know that they can contact you anytime.
Gotcha. How do you set patient expectations if they maybe want something that you're not comfortable with doing?
I'm very good at being honest with my clients and just explaining to them. I think that my clients in particular are relatively intelligent and they're capable of understanding if I can't do it, then I would explain to them why I can't do it, what the risks might be, and they go away feeling informed. If they want to go somewhere else and take those risks, then that's something they're happy they can do.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. And it's like it's your brand walking out the door. So if you're
Yeah,
not thinking like that, then
every client of mine is a walking advertisement for me, so they need to look their best and feel their best.
yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. Now, what are your tips to having a longevity in your career?
I think that specializing in one thing is a really great way of doing that. I think people that are kind of jacks of all trades that do threads and fillers and tox and body fillers and all of these crazy things, like that's great, but my personal perspective is that that's not going to give you longevity because you can't just chase trends in this area. You have to be very good at one thing and people will come back to you for that time and time and time again. If you're chasing trends, then how can you ever get really, really great at it?
No, I like that. I like that a lot. And you mentioned you guys do body fillers. I don't see too many, but I know they do like Sculptra, which is like a liquid BBL, and they do other parts of the body, inject other parts of the body down here in South Florida. But what parts of the body over there are they injecting, or you see them injecting?
So yeah, it's mostly like the BBL stuff, and
Yeah,
there's breast filler seems to be popping up here and there as well at the moment.
that's that's interesting. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of innovation, I suppose. I don't know. I think for me, I have to be well informed before I will even train in something. I wouldn't invest money into training unless it's a treatment that I fully believe in. And I certainly wouldn't ever offer it to a client unless I'm sold on the safety of it.
Gotcha, gotcha. So there's a lot of stuff, but not everything is effective, or you would
Yeah.
say. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, what are some pros and some cons you would say of this industry that comes to your mind?
So it's a very supported industry. There's a lot of people around to support you, whether it's prescribers, training providers. There's so many people that are available to support you, and it's reassuring and it's great, and it really, really brings you together. It's also flexible, which I love. Cons, I think that coming into this industry, particularly in the UK, you're sold a dream that you're going to make a lot of money very quickly. And I think that there's a lot of people that come into the industry and do their training, their qualification, believing that, and they're not necessarily doing it for the right reasons. And of course, it's risky. And I think that clients don't always understand the risks. So I think over here, there needs to be a lot more regulation. We need to take some advice from you and yeah, really improve things, make things more regulated, make the insurance better, make the training more consistent across providers because it's crazy inconsistent. You can do a 10-day course, you can do a course that takes a year, or you can do a course that takes an hour and get the same qualification at the end of it. And I just firmly disagree with all of that.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, no, I can definitely understand that. And definitely in South Florida or in America, it is you can take a course and be certified, but you must be a provider prior to getting the certification. So a lot of states have regulation where you have to be like a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant,
Yeah,
or and in some states you have to be a registered nurse. So
yeah,
for
yeah. I
sure.
guess it's varied. I forget how much bigger America is than here.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Now, I want to talk about training and certifications because a lot of people look to the UK and say, you guys are obviously, like you just said, you guys are ahead in the aesthetic industry. Not everything works, but you guys are ahead with some of the procedures that you guys are doing. What are some great trainings or certifications anywhere in the world that people can go to or learn more about?
I think so. Do you mean like providers or do you mean procedures?
I would say for providers to attend to learn more about procedures or learn more about the new market or what's going on in the market.
So there's some great providers. There's Manchester School of Aesthetics, which is amazing. They're a place over here in the UK, and they will not train anything that they're not sure of. They're not sure of the safety of, which is great. And they have really, really great support afterwards as well. Um, there's a lot of online material actually, which is great. I think that face to face is the most important, but online stuff to keep you on your toes and to keep you continually learning is also really, really important because it's easy to fit in around everything else. There's Kiss Aesthetics Empire. They do a huge amount of online stuff, which is really useful just to keep you up to date, keep you on your toes, and yeah, just fit it in. Some stuff's quite short videos, which is great.
Nice, nice, nice. I'll definitely drop those in case anybody's interested, because I know everybody's interested in learning more and wanting to find ways to learn more. So let's talk about key opinion leaders. Who are some key opinion leaders that you can just suggest for the audience?
So over here in the UK, there is Antonia Knowles, who is amazing. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's Kiss Aesthetics Empire.
No, but I'm gonna look her up for sure.
Unreal Injector, and she runs an entire empire. So she's got clinics all over the UK. She runs training, she does marketing training. She's a big brain. There's a lot to learn from her, definitely. um Dr. Ayad, who you might have heard of, he's the nose guy. He's incredible. He's really, like, if you don't follow him already, can't recommend enough. He's really good. um there's a lady called Lindsay Owens who is, I think she's got two clinics, but she's really great at keeping up to date, keeping ahead of the game. And she trained in threads and then retrained in threads and then retrained again because she wants to know that she's sure. So she's really definitely one to watch.
Wow, wow. I'm gonna have to look up all those people and definitely follow them all. They sound very interesting, and I'll learn a lot from that for sure, for sure. So I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me, speaking more about the aesthetic industry. Tell everybody where they can find you and what you got planned next.
So you can find me on Instagram at Beauty Aesthetics Joe. And next, I guess I just continue to grow, continue to be amazing.
There you go. There you go. Always developing next level.
Yeah, exactly that. Thank you so much.
No worries. And until next time, bye.
Bye, thanks.